Hello and welcome. My name is Forde, and today we are playing the World of Warcraft Pandaria Beta, specifically looking at the Retribution Paladin. Little background on myself before I go into the actual talents, which is what we'll be focusing on in this video today. I've been playing World of Warcraft for 5 years, and Ret Paladin has been my main, both in PvE and PvP. I don't play Prot or Holy since I started playing. I mainly do PvP, however I have done high-ranked PvE as well, or hardcore PvE rating. First off, going straight into the talents, level 15, first tier of talents, we have Speed of Light. 1 minute cooldown, increases your movement speed by 70% for 8 seconds. Basically a rogue sprint. I think it has a great amount of use for paladins, but maybe not necessarily for Ret paladins. Alright, what I personally choose, Long Arm of the Law. Successful Judgment increases your movement speed by 45% for 3 seconds. I personally really like this because this works as our gap closer. You're going to have that movement speed. There is no dead zone unlike what's in Cataclysm right now. That means even if I'm staying right up against the target, I'm going to get the movement speed, which means I can get out if I need to. Finally, we have Pursuit of Justice. This has been changed a great bit since from what's on live. No longer do you get the holy power from when you are stunned or slowed, and it's no longer 15% movement speed increase. What it is right now on beta in the current build is 10% movement speed at all times, plus an additional 10% movement speed for each current charge of holy power up to 3. What this is saying is that you can have a maximum with 3 charges of holy power, 40% movement speed. I think this does have its uses, however, I personally don't see myself speccing this on live. Level 30, second tier of talents. We have Fist of Justice. This replaces Hammer of Justice, which is basically, this is a 30-second less cooldown. This has a 30-second cooldown, same 6-second stun that Hammer of Justice has, and basically what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to stun your target 30 seconds earlier. I think it's a very strong talent, and one that I could see myself taking under certain circumstances. Next off, we have Repentance. This is no longer your daddy's old Repentance from live, but this is now, it's no longer instant cast. It has a 1.42 second cast time with my current haste rating. I do not see myself taking this at all, simply because of the fact that it has a cast time, and if I'm in melee and I need a Repentance my focus target, I don't have the 1.5 seconds to cast this. Finally, after 7 years of paladins not having a proper slow, we get Burden of Guilt. Your judgment hits fill your target with doubt and remorse, reducing their movement speed by 50% for 12 seconds. I think this is a ridiculously strong talent for Ret Paladins, simply because of the fact that it's going to have 100% uptime. Your judgment is going to have a less than 12-second cooldown, meaning that you can put actually, put the thing onto multiple targets, and it'll still be there. So what it basically is you can have uptime, 100% uptime in PvP against the target, and for this slow. I think that's ridiculously strong, and it's what I'm personally going to be speccing into on live. Next off, level 45, third tier, we have more healing-oriented talents. We have Selfless Healer. Basically what this is, it's greatly changed from what it is on live. Your successful judgments reduce the cast time and mana cost of your next Flash of Light by 35% and improves its effectiveness by 35% per stack when used to heal others. Stacks up to 3 times. Basically, this gives you an instant Flash of Light every 3 judgments. And it also increases its effectiveness by 100% on when you're healing another target. So no longer is it Word of Glory healing 50% more on friendly targets aside from yourself. I think this is, I'm personally going to be speccing into this, if not Sacred Shield. Now we have Eternal Flame. Minimum 1 holy power. Consumes up to 3 holy power to place a protective holy flame on a friendly target, which heals them for X amount of damage per charge of holy power every X amount of seconds for a certain period of time, based on, I'm assuming, haste rating here. This is very holy oriented. I don't see Ret Paladins taking this. I'm going to stay away from it, while it is a good talent in its own right. Finally, we have Sacred Shield. Sacred Shield is essentially what it was, if I recall correctly, from Wrath of the Lich King. Your Flash of Light has a higher critical strike chance, and it absorbs damage. I personally really like this talent, however, being as Art of War no longer gives you free Flash of Light or Exorcisms as it did in Wrath of the Lich King. It's going to be less available for rep paladins. However, I think it's still a very strong talent, and I could see myself taking this at certain times. We have more utility talents for level 60 and 4th tier. We have Hand of Purity. This is basically going to reduce the effect of periodic effects by 70% for 6 seconds on a 1 minute cooldown. This is bleeds, curses, basically any dot. I think this can be very good, very situational. However, if you're going up against a warlock and whatever, warlock, fire mage, and you have, I have, pyroblast and unstable affliction, and shadow priestess came out of nowhere. Basically, you're not going to take that much damage from their dots. This does have its uses. I personally don't see myself speccing it though. Unbreakable Spirit. I'm personally speccing this right now. However, that could easily change to Clemency. When your Divine Shield, Divine Protection, or Lay on Hands are on cooldown, spending a Holy Power will reduce the remaining cooldown by 1% per Holy Power spent, up to a maximum of 50% reduction. What this is saying is that if my Divine Shield is on cooldown, and I use 3 Holy Power, the cooldown is going to be reduced by 3%. Basically, up to 50% means that the cooldown is going to be cut in half. So Lay on Hands will go down from 10 to 5 minutes. Divine Shield will be from 5 to 2.5, etc. Finally, we have basically the Paladin's version of a Rogue's Preparation. Or I guess you could say Mage's Cold Snap, but enough comparisons. When activated, this immediately finishes the cooldown of your Hand of Freedom, Hand of Protection, Hand of Sacrifice, and Hand of Salvation. This has a lot of uses. Mainly, it reduces it finishes the cooldown of all your hands. This can be, I can see this being extremely useful if you want to bop both of your teammates in 3s, or just put 2 Hand of Sacs on and Divine Shield yourself. It has very great utility because if you Hand of Freedom both your teammates, that's great freedom. And unless they could have 2 Dispellers on their team, and with the spells and how they're being changed in Mr. Pandaria, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. 5th tier talents, level 75. We have Holy Avenger. This is basically Zealotry from live, but it only lasts for 15 seconds. I think that this is a great thing for, just a good, one-shot macro if you want to use Guardian of Ancient Kings, Avenging Wrath, and Holy Avenger, just as you would with Zealotry, Avenging Wrath, and Guardian of Ancient Kings on live. I think this is a great potential. However, I think that the real potential for Rep Paladins and the real utility lies in Sanctified Wrath. Basically, your Hammer of Wrath has no cooldown whatsoever. So I'm popping Avenging Wrath, and here I'm just spamming away my little Hammer of Wraths. And if I have a mage or anything going on at range, unless they silence me, there's no way for them to stop me from doing this. And it's a fairly hard-hitting skill, and I'm at level 85 with mediocre PvE gear, normal, and you see out for hitting from everything from basically from 14 to 36,000, excuse me. And I think this has great utility because wings are no longer dispellable. Yes, that's right, mages, hear me now. You will no longer be able to steal our wings and jump off Lumber Mill saying, look at me, I can fly. Basically, I'm going to be taking Sanctified Wrath at the time. We have Divine Purpose. This is unchanged from what live is. It's 15%. Your abilities that cost Holy Power have a 15% chance to cause a Divine Purpose effect. Well, it's slightly changed. Instead of it being set a number of skills to change it, basically what it is all your Holy Power. I personally don't like this. I don't like the proc chance. I don't see myself taking it. Now, going into the unknown area here, the level 90 talents, because I'm not level 90, and level 90 is not accessible on beta right now, we have Holy Prism. This is basically giving you another item to use in your rotation. I can see this being a fairly strong ability if the Rep Paladin basically gets, which can, depending on the damage it does, it will really make or break if it's worth taking for use in a standard rotation. Otherwise, it can be used to heal. It's 20-second cooldown. I think it's a fairly strong ability. I can see myself taking it if it does enough damage to warrant being put into your rotation, being as it doesn't generate Holy Power. And right now, there's very few amounts of times where we actually have downtime in our rotation. Light's Hammer. I don't know about this. Personally, I don't see myself taking this. I personally believe that what's going to happen is you basically throw the hammer and it's going to deal damage. or it also heals your allies. The numbers seem to be kind of low. Depends on how much they actually scale and how it acts at level 90. I'm personally at the moment going to be avoiding this until I actually see it at level 90. Now my personal preference, Execution Sentence. What this is basically another DPS cooldown, which I'm personally going to be taking if I take Sanctified Wrath, simply because of the fact that it will always be up every minute on the minute, and that means it'll be up at the same time as Avenging Wrath and Guardians of the Kings if I use them at the same time, which I would expect to be a good idea. Basically, it'll do holy damage to a certain target over a period of time, and then do a final burst of energy at the 10-second mark. This can also be used to heal friendly targets, and I personally see this being a fairly strong ability, which I'm looking forward to seeing how this can play out, both healing and with damage. So that's my current thoughts on the talents. I'm going to go over glyphs and rogue, and basically a bunch of more Mr. Pandaria Beta stuff in the near future, along with I'm going to be live streaming, more than likely, if I can get that get it to be 100% working, up and running, the arena tournament, and I'm going to be recording some of those matches and putting them together, and just start getting my name out there in the YouTube community, because I really am interested in getting into this. This is first video based on World of Warcraft. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, please leave them in the comments below. I'll be leaving my Twitch TV feed in the description. Please, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more Rep Paladin and Rogue, and possibly some Death Knight if I break out my old Death Knight in the near future. But thanks for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Forde out.